A monk was in his Buddhist monastery. He practiced the gospel of peace and non-violence. He meditated every day in the lotus position and was at peace. He repeated the mantra, Om Mani Padme Om. He was in search of the jewel in the lotus. Then the Chinese invaded Tibet. Monasteries and villages were bombed. People were tortured and killed. Posters of Mao and Stalin were put up in the villages. The monks said these massacres of the Tibetan people must stop.
The Chinese must leave Tibet and give us back our independence.
The monks took up arms supplied from the CIA, who trained them in guerrilla warfare. America didn't want to help Tibet. They just wanted to make trouble for China. The monk joined the Tibetan fight for freedom. He was a monk-turned-warrior. 400 monks volunteered to follow him into battle. They killed 600 Chinese and shot the prisoners because there was no way to keep them. The monk killed them, even though he was a sinner to kill. But the Tibetans were still losing the battle. During the battle, the monk found a woman shot in the stomach, bleeding profusely. He felt pity for her suffering. He wanted to end her pain, so he prayed and shot her. It was the worst possible sin, but he felt no guilt for it. Then there was a grenade blast. He lost his hand. He could not hold a rifle anymore and was useless in battle. He was sent to a hospital in India as a refugee. There was an Indian nurse wearing a burqa who took care of him. She had the most beautiful eyes. They revealed her beautiful soul. He fell in love with her. He had never made love before because it was a sin to have sexual relations as a monk.
Remove your burqa so I can kiss you.
You won't like what you see.
Please let me kiss you.
My ex-husband cut off my nose for adultery.
I love you no matter what. You're still beautiful in my eyes.
They kissed passionately. The nurse was a protester against the Chinese invasion. The Chinese opened fire on the protesters. She died, and it broke the monk's heart. The monk decided to protest the invasion of the Chinese by setting himself on fire in a public place. He prepared for his death with meditation.
Before my death and I enter nirvana, I must say I plead for China to have the mind of compassion for Tibet and stop the invasion.
He poured gasoline over himself and lit a match. He immolated himself and did not twitch a muscle. He remained in the lotus position the whole time as he burned.